You want this the runs? You want this to be the
stream deck?
So it looks like, I think this is what you're looking at, right?
Is it doing it then?
Okay, do something.
Okay, it's working. Okay, cool.
You hear shit about stupid.
Cool. Okay, go.
All right. Did you want to do an introduction?
Oh yeah. Yeah. I don't even know how to make sure I'm in camera, but hi, welcome to our first quarterly OWASP meeting for Oakland County chapter of OWASP. It's the only chapter in Michigan. I really wish we could tell it that there's other events, other things to go to, but you know, the thing that we can't mention probably still destroying everything. So, but thanks for hosting us, MySec, as usual, is keeping it strong. If you're not a member of OWASP, please consider being a member of OWASP. If you want to do a AppSec related talk, like the one you're seeing, or something you think that would really go well in this, reach out to me. If you think you want to do a talk just with MySec, you can reach out to me as well, or you can talk to Ed, or you can talk to Ali, or just, you know, get on the Discord channel. If you don't know this, you know, reach out right now, either on YouTube chat that you're seeing this, or whoever you're talking to right now in person. All right, we have our speaker is talking about ChatGPT. It's Ed. He's a longtime MySec and OWASP member, so everyone give him a round of applause. Make a lot of noise. Woo! All right, cool. Here, go ahead.
All right. I'm Edward Miskovich. I'm one of the chapter leads for the MySec Southfield chapter. Tonight we're actually going to be talking the good, the bad, and ugly of ChatGPT. So, is this going to be hell or not? We'll talk about this. So, what's the big difference between AL, ML, and ChatGPT? Or AI is basically what encompasses the whole entire field. So basically it includes anything from ML, natural language, computer vision, basically anything that happens in this field that goes under. ChatGPT is trained on generating human-like text. So it's easy just to type in something very simple and go back and forth with it to narrow down the results or to help you figure out and improve so you can have more of a conversation. ML is for like a specific task. So if you want like a Tesla car, you want to drive it back and forth, that's going to be probably just one set of machine learning. So the good. Right now it's free. So anybody that has an email account can register. Assists you with communication skills. I know I don't usually have the best communication skills, so I can go to it and have it write out a detailed email or any type of other communication, and it's going to come back with a much better response than I would ever do. Very useful when you need to like send anything to your boss or a CEO or anybody in the C-level position. Assistance writing with code. I'm not a huge programmer, so I can go in there and ask it questions and it can help me build a code. And it comes with pretty good results. It will take a little tinkering sometimes and maybe additional research, but you can build pretty decent programs out of it. And another nice thing is it'll actually go in there and give you an explanation of what you're doing. So you get more of a context if you're willing to learn what's going on, so it can build up your knowledge base and help you with like training, improving any type of skills you have. So here on the screen, you can see that I just ask it to write me a Splunk query on looking for URLs by counts and about how much data is being sent back and forth. As an IR investigator, this is just an easy thing I can copy and paste to see if any type of data might have been exfiltrated through a URL. And you can follow up or ask follow-up questions to get more specific, like if you have a specific index for your company, you can just tell it what it is, and then it would come back and give you detailed results on that. The bad, you got schools like New York that completely ban this outright. Instead of trying to actually embrace the new technologies and use it to help train the kids improve it, they just outright said it's no good. And all that's really doing is it's bringing it to the kids' attention. Now it's just like, oh, I can have a tool where I can just use it for whatever. So it's going to be really hard for a lot of these teachers to figure out, did the student actually write it, or did they just go to ChatGPT or anything that comes out in the future and uses it? Right now, since it's gaining so much popularity, there's capacity issues. I run into this a couple times a day where it just like, it's either really slow or they actually go completely non-responsive for a couple hours. And then another bad thing is will it be biased? Because what data was it trained on out there, it could become very biased data. You've actually seen like with Microsoft, what they tried to do, it went really racist really quick and they had to take the whole entire thing down. So how good is the data behind it? We don't really know. And it brings phishing to a whole new level, because how many times have these people that send out phishing emails have so many grammatical errors, and where this one can just go and come out something really nice. So like if I was kind of like a pin tester or a malicious actor, I'd say, let's go ahead and write an email saying, we're going to be changing your MFA, and then follow them up with them like a week later to get into their account, get their password resets or MFA changed. And as you can see, this is a very professional written email. So there's very little effort that they would need to do to change this around to make it look really legitimate. The ugly, this has actually already been kind of out there. Malware writers, very beginning, that don't really know what they're doing, they can work around it to actually create malware to send out to users. Another ugly of it is the students actually going to learn with this, or are they just going to take it and copy and paste it and give it to the teachers? So, like I said, you do have to embrace it, but how many students are just going to do this to get past the class and not really learn anything? Another big thing is, what is this going to do into our industry in the next couple of years? Are we going to lose jobs over this, or is it going to help us improve our jobs? So basically, yeah, like I said, how many of these people are going to go out there and steal code that's part of somebody's code that is actually legitimately copyrighted and just steal it and not credit the original author? So this changes everything for me, because I am going to be using this multiple times on a daily basis to make myself a better incident response person. Like I said, it improves my skills. I learn along the way, and it's going to make it so much easier during an investigation to really get down to figuring out what's going on, as long as you know what the right answer or questions to ask. All right. Any questions or comments or anything you guys like to talk about?
Do you know, I mean, has the creators of ChatGPT explained where the information that it has come from? Like, do you know, like, if that information, the database where it's learned all of its language and everything like that is available to everybody else?
Honestly, I'm not 100% sure. I know it's a couple-year-old information, so it's not the most newest technology out there. but I'm not 100% sure. They might have used a specific class to actually train it.
I know for PowerShell stuff, it scrapes Microsoft KDEs directly. So it'll go on a tangent where it's calling in all these actual Microsoft modules and functions. And then it just comes out of left field with something that doesn't exist.
Right.
So like for that, it gets you 70-80% of the way there. But you still have to understand what the functions do, how to then tailor it for the environment that you're operating in. Because a lot of people don't know how to do that. So it's going to be useful from an infrastructure engineering side for a lot of people. Unless you know how to actually tailor your script to work in your environment. How do you pull in your variables for your vCenters, for your volume that you're working with, the VLAN you're working with. Information like that is still going to be really important. It's not going to replace us, but it can definitely help your productivity.
Yeah, like I said, if you can get 90% of the way there on a project in 5,
It
10
writes
minutes
detections
versus
extremely well. I scared the shit out of my stock guys, so like terrified them. Like, oh, we're not going to have jobs in a year, man. No, you have to implement this. But it writes most detections quite well. Does a very good job.
So yeah, like I said, it still has a way to go. But like I said, if you're going to actually embrace this, you're going to look at to like a rock star to your manager and everything, being able to complete things so much quicker, so much efficient. Like I say, there is a back and forth, and some additional understanding you're going to need right now. Like I said, I can see that improving in the future, but still having the basic understanding and knowing how to ask the questions. Because not everybody knows the right questions, what they even want to explain to you. So being able to interpret that to get it into a program to help you write it is going to still be huge for a long time.
With PowerShell and Python especially, your syntax and how you ask is more important than anything, because that's going to dictate what output it gives you and what articles and references and what knowledge base and references. And it can do quite well if you're accurate with what you ask it.
It's like the IDs, just, oh, it's going to totally change anything, and people couldn't write code, or now they write code. Like, if you don't know what you're doing, you still don't know what the hell you're doing, it's not going to work well.
Like, if you're a script kiddie trying to break into your school's network with ChatGPT, you're gonna have a really bad time because, you don't have you could probably get it to write you an in-app sort scan, one-liner, but then you don't have the technical knowledge to understand how subnetting works, how VLANs work, and know what you're even looking at, so you can't even then do anything.
But you can always go down the rabbit hole of learning all that stuff if you're interested enough, which is bringing back of actually learning and becoming more intelligent if you're willing to put in the time.
Do you guys think if ChatGPT does answer questions that people are obviously trying to make something malicious with, do you think the company that thinks ChatGPT should be responsible?
Oh no, they don't let you. There's a warning for a lot of, if you're trying to do malicious coding, it warns you, it tells you, and sometimes it will not proceed for that. Like if you want to do, one of my friends want to do the zip bomb with it, and it's like, we don't suggest doing this because zip bombs are malicious and destructive.
Like I said, they are trying to put a lot of safeguards in there. So, like I said, as long as in my personal opinion, if they're putting in efforts to try to stop this stuff, then they shouldn't really be held responsible. But like I said, if you could just go in there and say, create me a zip bomb, then I could see them being held liable for it. All right, any other questions? All right, then thank you for watching this presentation and coming out tonight, and hope to see you guys in the next one.
Also need to thank the location, Town Center.
Oh yeah, thank
Spirits.
you for One Town Square for hosting us. They're always gracious.
Town Center Food and Spirits.
Towns, yeah.
Yeah, that's the location. Good food, good beer, good to hang out.
And thank you.
All right.